The Chicago Blackhawks fall to the Colorado Avalanche 1-0 in what was a pretty tight checking defensive hockey game. It didn't really feel like there were a ton of chances tonight for either team, to be honest with you. Like, it really didn't feel like the Avalanche overwhelmed the Blackhawks today. They are the best team in the league, even though it was the second half of a back-to-back for them. They're still a wagon. They're still the best team in the league, and tonight you kind of saw it. They definitely did not bring their best game. I thought the Blackhawks had a ton of chances to score in that first period, and then after that, Colorado kind of just closed the door, and I think they found their legs in the second and third, and yeah, the Blackhawks unlucky to not score in that first period. I thought they had a lot of good, basically all the best looks the Blackhawks had tonight were in that first period, except for maybe a couple chances late in the third after they pulled their goalie. But I said it on stream tonight. After that first period, it was like, I don't think we're going to see this same Colorado Avalanche performance in the second and third, and I ended up being right about that. And so if they could have gotten a one-goal lead, you would have been able to get a point out of it, but that's kind of the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. Ryan Green, I felt like, had a couple of really good looks. That first line was just connecting really well in that first period, but then in the second, I think once the Colorado Avalanche found their legs, it was just so hard for the Chicago Blackhawks to get into the zone. They weren't able to carry the puck into the zone. They had to start relying on a dump and chase, basically. Especially after Colorado scored their goal, they kind of just shut the door, made it super hard for the Blackhawks to get anything set up, get into the zone whatsoever. So you kind of got to tip your cap in their direction. The one goal was a really nice shot from Cale Makar. Knight makes the initial save, and I don't think he saw exactly where the puck bounced off of him to, because if you watch that goal again, he wasn't set up and ready really at all for the Cale Makar shot. Now that I think about it, it was Spencer Knight who turned the puck over initially, but he made up for it with the initial save. But then, yeah, I think he just lost track of the puck, and Cale Makar makes it 1-0. And then Colorado kind of was just happy playing a defensive game and just trying to get out of there with the 2 points. And that's what this Avs team does, right? They've got experience. They've won a Stanley Cup. They've got a couple of the best players in the world, and they know how to close out games. They know how to win games. I was bummed. Like, the bummer about this is that, obviously, that you've now lost 3 games in a row in our outside the playoff picture. But I'm really not tweaking about it. Again, the expectations this year skewed so much based on how well they've played through the first 22 games of the season. So I'm not worried. I'm not freaking out. Oh no, they're out of the wild card spot. It was just they had chances late. Like, they had a couple. Frank Nazar had one on the doorstep. Teuvo Teravainen had a chance with like 4 minutes left. That was a really, really good play from Oliver Moore. So it just feels like they got screwed. Like, again, and the refs were on. I don't know what's going on with refereeing, officiating with this Blackhawks team. It feels like they're having closed door meetings about this team and are just like, every night they're like, how can we screw over this team? Tyler Bertuzzi almost he did get called for the most shocking tripping call I've ever seen. He just straight up did not touch the guy whatsoever. And they tried to send him to the box. Then they didn't even review the play. Like, I don't even think they reviewed the play. I think they just saw it on the Jumbotron and changed their decision. So Blackhawks definitely have been battling, not just the refs, but also just the condensed schedule. Some of these young players are having to get used to playing, 3 games in 4 nights, or games that are back to back, Thursday, Friday, and then you get 1 day off, and then you're playing again. And so I think it's a good learning experience for these guys. They've been clearly playing with a little less jump over these past 3 games that they've lost. And I do think that the schedule is catching up to them a little bit, just how compact these games are. It's a night in, night out league. You got to be ready to go. And it really is more of a marathon than a sprint for the regular season, at least. The playoffs are just like a sprint the whole time. But you got to be able to put up quality performances even when you might not have your legs. And that's kind of what Jeff Blashill's been saying to the media the past couple days, and I do agree with him. But again, I do think that if a couple of those opportunities go in, we're having a completely different discussion right now. If Oliver Moore's chance where he hits the crossbar, if that goes in, and then Frank Nazar's late opportunity goes in, we're talking about, beating the best team in the league in a really close, tight checking defensive game. The narrative would be completely different right now, but it was 1-0. The Hawks didn't score, so it is a bit of if my grandma had wheels, she'd be a bike situation here. I'm not going to make this too long. One thing I do want to touch on, and I would love to hear your guys' perspective on this. We were talking about it during the stream tonight. I feel like something's kind of up with Frank Nazar. He just doesn't really look like himself. I don't know if he's still kind of nursing that injury that he took in the game against Calgary a couple weeks ago. He got hit tonight, and I think they were kind of working on his hand, so I don't know if that's related to the same injury. I just feel like he's not being as assertive. He doesn't have the same initial burst, that quick explosion of speed that we're used to seeing from Frank Nazar. I just feel like we haven't really seen it the same amount these past few games. So I hope it's I'd rather it be something that he's nursing rather than a confidence issue. But let me know in the comments kind of what you think is up with Frank Nazar right now. It's not like he's been terrible, he's been battling, he's been playing every night, he's still competing. It's just something looks a little off with him. And so yeah, I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on it. But I think that's pretty much it, man. I'm not going to spend too much time on this game. It was a 1-0 shutout. You move to the next one. Game Wednesday, you get a couple days off, which is nice. Hopefully, you can rest and recoup the legs a little bit, and then let's get back to winning on Wednesday. I think that's pretty much it. I appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up for me. That'd be nice. I said in stream tonight, I'm not sure if I'm going to stream the game Wednesday or not, just because I'm trying to get home and see my family for Thanksgiving. Follow me on Twitter, @LeeGrossman. I will keep you guys posted. There will be probably a couple videos coming out this week, so stay on the lookout for that. But that's pretty much all I got. I appreciate you. I will see you later. Have a good night. Peace.